Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to beautiful Moscow. I'm back from my holidays, and I'm ready to start making videos again. And today, I'm at a brand new supermarket that's with a bit of a twist. Let's go check it out. The shop we're going to go look at together is Pyaterochka. Now, if you are a long-time watcher of the channel, you know I've done quite a few videos at these stores before. But this one is slightly different. Now, the first thing that does look different is the traditional colors of the supermarket. Now, traditionally they're red and green and white, where you see the number 5 right there. However, you can now see some blue in the coloring, and there's quite a few different things going on with the signage right here. It's in this building that you can see. It goes all the way down to the end of the actual building itself. And it says on the top there, Store of the Future. And this is what we've really come to see, that this is a new concept that is just in its infancy here in Russia. And this is the first store literally in the entire country. And we're gonna go walk in and check it out a bit closer. Actually, before I go on inside, I just want to say hello to Vladimir, and he literally just walked past and realized, and he's a subscriber of the channel. So if you're watching, it's really great to meet you, and you are from Bryansk visiting Moscow. If anybody sees me in public, please say hello. Please stop me filming even, and let's get to know each other a little bit better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you for a walk around the shop and explain to you this concept of a shop of the future and how it's slightly different. Now, I will also put a map link to where I am here in Moscow, so if you do want to visit this store, I am in a very typical Moscow neighborhood, and you can definitely tell when it's summertime in Moscow. You can hear that background noise of people with their grass cutters going off. But there's some really interesting different apartment buildings here. Once you get a little bit closer to the center of Moscow, there is such an eclectic mix of different types of buildings, and the actual shop itself is in this commercial building. I was interested to see that there's actually a fishing shop on the second level. Now, the actual shop itself is open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., which is very normal for all Pyaterochkas. One thing I noticed which is new is they've got a call point for people that need assistance. I haven't seen that in any stores before now, so something new. And the actual shop itself is quite different from any other typical Pyaterochka. Now, the way you shop hasn't changed, so the baskets are the same right there, the plastic baskets, and then over here the hand baskets. That hasn't changed, but the way that you shop has changed. Now, there is a bit of a layout right here. It does make sense once we walk inside. Now, I will say, because this shop has been only open for about 2 weeks, there is quite a few different people here making videos and making content. They also have lots of staff to help people understand what's going on, because there is quite a lot of things that are completely unique to this store. And this is completely brand new. There was an existing store here, and about 2 weeks ago they opened for the first time as a phygical store. Now, the word phygical comes from physical and digital. Now, the way that Pyaterochkas are traditionally laid out, the shop itself is 70% walk-in shop where you and I can come shopping, and 30% storeroom, or the actual warehouse out the back. And what they've done with this store is they've completely flipped that on its head, and the actual shop itself is now only 30% shop and 70% storeroom. There's also the cafe over here on the right hand side. Now I'm going to show you where that other 70% is, but not by going in there quite literally. They have a camera that shows us what it's like in the back. What they've actually done is they put a couple of cameras in the storeroom, and you can actually see the stock of the shop in real time. Now, of course, it's just a surveillance camera on the wall, but it's quite important for this shop because the way you shop is quite different. Now, I have been here for about an hour, and when I first arrived, it was quite empty, the shop, and quiet. And since I've come in, there is people restocking, refilling. Now, there is quite a few members of the staff here that are here for the opening, and they're making sure that everyone that's shopping knows how to shop. Now, I think in our heads we all know how to actually shop. What they've done is, with the actual Pyaterochka that we're in today, or here, with it only having 30% of the store as physical products, like you see. So of course things like beer and alcohol, all of the dairy and meat products, fruits and vegetables right here. So these are all ideally just grab and go items. And of course things like the pastries as well, and bread. So these are all of your essential everyday items. But there's quite a lot of the shop not here and missing, if you like. And behind the wall of this fridge is the other 70% of the shop. It's all on shelves set up for you to actually order the items for pickup. Let me explain a little bit more now about this concept and this phygical idea of shopping. So there is actually 5 steps, and I'll try to walk through them as easily as possible. Now, the first step is to have your club card or your store card, and there is actually a terminal right here where you can sign up for it. I would imagine in reality 99% of people already have a card, and I know this gentleman right here scanned his card from his app on his phone. And what it's doing now, it's bringing up the full inventory of what this shop has in the back, if you like, or in the warehouse part of the store. So I'm pretty sure he's ordering cat food or some cat biscuits right here, because the shop itself, walking around, doesn't have every product that would be in a traditional Pyaterochka. So he's ordering quite a few different packets of cat food. Now, he would normally come in here and grab it from the shelf and pay. What they've done, they've moved it to online, and you can then order what you want. The lady's actually explaining to the gentleman how it works, and the actual app that's on this screen mirrors the app that's also on your phone as well. And then what it suggests is, once you've done your shopping, you get a receipt. Actually, he's just grabbed it right there. Now, it says there, step number 3, go for a coffee, go to the cafe and hang out. So what you can do is you can still walk around and shop and grab some things quite physically. And maybe you want some fruit or some milk and things like that. And then, of course, step number 3 over here is the cafe. So you can grab yourself something to eat, something to drink. You can sit down. And then step number 4 over here is where you actually pick up your order. So that gentleman that placed his order, it comes up on the screen over here as it's in the processing. Now, the order will be ready in under 7 minutes. That's their time that they expect to have the goods ready. Now, the actual lady said between 2 and 7 minutes, which is really quite amazing. And then what you do is then you grab your bag or whatever you physically shop for, and you can come around the corner over here. Now, these couple of people right here have bought some things that are actually in the shop, and then you scan your receipt and you can pay, and then you walk out. Now, what's really interesting, there isn't an actual cashier in the store, so there's no physical person that you go to pay with. But that's not a problem. because you can do the self-checkout yourself. It's fairly straightforward. These are in every shop in Russia now. They're not something new. However, if you are wanting to pay cash, they actually have the machine here for cash payment. So you can put the notes in right there. You can also put the coins in over here, and you can pay by cash this way. But this is completely new for Pyaterochka because there isn't a physical cashier in the store. And then once you're paid, you head out the store and you're good. Now, I would imagine almost all the people that are here doing their shopping all live in the immediate apartment blocks in the area of this store. And of course, there's going to be a little bit of learning to figure out how to do it the first time. But this gentleman placed his order. He's just got to wait his 7 minutes and everything will be ready. They come up on the screen and then you just go around the corner and pay and head on out. What I'll do is I'll have a bit of a walk around and see what they've got in the shop. And then of course, everything that's not here, you can get from those screens and monitors to order from the storeroom. Now, of course, we're in the middle of summer now, so berries are in season. Cherries are slowly coming into season. And then we're waiting for watermelons. So all of the other classic fruits on this side and vegetables on the other. And they've got a very big dairy section in here, or refrigerated section. At the front, all of the ready food. So if you want something to microwave and eat right here in the store, you can, or you can take it home. Now, I have done a video before about that, so if you want to check out the ready food video, it's super interesting, I think. So all of the leaf vegetables. There is also a small section here with meats, chicken, pork, and things like that. There is lots of people in here refilling and running around. I think because it's a new store, they do expect lots of people to be coming in here and checking it out just like me. All of the meats, salamis, sausages. Now the other thing that's quite interesting, again that's the screen showing the storeroom right there, is the actual shelf tags. Now these aren't new around the world, these digital tags and the way that they work. However, they're fairly new for Russia, and a lot of the Pyaterochkas that you go to have the physical paper tickets. And the same in Australia, we still have them as well. They're slowly moving over to this electronic version. We've even got a scrolling one here with advertising on it at the same time. You can buy alcohol in this store as well. You might notice too that the beer is always in individual cans and servings. The other thing I've noticed as I've walked around the shop as well, this Phygical store that we're in, they've got these sensors, and these are essentially creating a heat map of the store so they can see where everybody is shopping and where everybody is walking in the shop. It's quite a well-known thing in retail that all shops have a heat map, so you can see what is the more popular area for people to shop in. Of course, alcohol on this side, so all of the spirits. There's also some wine and champagne as well. Now there is more than just vodka. You can see some of the other products further down. All of the other dairy items, so things like cheeses, yogurts. There is cottage cheese, and then milk. So most of the things, or if not all the things in this part of the shop, are all of the more grab and go style products. Things that people want to literally walk in and grab and walk out. But what you will notice that's missing in here in terms of physically in the shop is things like all of the cleaning products, all of the products for pets, all of the things like toilet paper, all of your kitchen essentials. Washing up liquid is not here. So what they've done is they've created a smaller shop, of course, but then you've got that online element where you can place that order on the screen. Come over to the cafe, grab yourself something to eat, and you've only got to wait 7 minutes. They really should have it like 15 minutes so you actually spend more time in here. But have a look. So they've got the very well-known bakery section with my favorite item here, the garlic loaf. We've also got the ciabatta bread. Now this video is not about pricing because I really want to show you this digital concept store that we're in. However, ciabatta bread is about 70 US cents. If you like that. Actually, all the pastries and all of the food here is less than $1 US. Now I can see where these two gentlemen's eyes are looking. They're both looking at the pizza. Although he's got a salad in his hand, he doesn't secretly want the salad, he wants the pizza. And then have a look. For 90 rubles, so right about $1 US, you can get a slice of pizza. We've also got hamburgers, which I think are new. Now, they've also got coffee as well. This is make your own coffee for about 50 cents. So it's quite simple. Even there's steps on how to do it. You can actually pay for your coffee and cake right here if you don't plan to do any other shopping. But you can also take the receipt from your order from right here and pay for it all at the same time. They've also got hot dogs as well up there. So if you want to get more things, they've even got a sandwich and a coffee deal if you want something a little bit fancier. However, you can literally sit right here in the small cafe section. They've also got USB sockets if you want to do charging or you want to put your computer here for a little while. And this is a store of the future. So you can do that online order on the screen, sit down and relax. I mean, 7 minutes is not a long time to wait. I don't think it's enough time to have something to eat and a drink. And then head on out. There is still the traditional grab and go items right here. Things like candy bars and some snacks. And I just noticed this Russian Kit Kat called Dido, which is still not a Kit Kat. And then what's the other one over here? Choco Break. So many people trying to imitate the original and best item. There is a fridge here with some drinks. That's the other thing you don't see in the shop also is the aisle of cool drinks. So things like the larger 2-liter drinks, also waters aren't on display. They do have the grab and go caviar though, right at the fridge just there. And then coming around the corner to the register, we'll just give this a full walk around look. Now these self-checkouts are very common in Russia and they're getting a little bit more intuitive every time you go to a new store. There is also some spirits right here. So remember, this shop opened 2 weeks ago physically. However, companies like Jim Beam and Jack Daniels, Johnny Walker, are meant to be not available in Russia for the last 2 years. Also, Bacardi right there. So you can still get all the spirits that you possibly need. Again, where you'll see the ladies here doing some basic shopping. These are your everyday items, things like bread and milk and things like that. And then you can do your other shopping for collection and then head on out the store. So let me show you how this works, and I'm going to place an order for something. And first thing you need to do now, of course, back at step number 1, if you don't have the store card, you can apply for one. Now I've actually got the app on my phone already here, little barcode that you can scan. So quite simply, you scan it and then up comes a few advertisements, and then basically everything that's in a traditional Pyaterochka is here on the application. Now you've got everything broken down here by food category. It's got some of the specials right here. Now, of course, the fact that I'm just in Moscow for a short time to come and make the video, I don't need to do my traditional grocery shopping, but I want to find myself a drink. Now, I can press the drinks, breaks it down by things like water and soda and juices right here. Now, this is the one thing that they don't actually have in the shop. They don't have the aisle for drinks. So you need to find from all the different types. You can still get Coca-Cola in Russia. And then these are a lot of the different Russian brands. There is also some of the Schweppes brands as well. Now, hopefully I can find the one that I want. Hopefully. There is a lot of choices. That's what I'm going to get. Chernogolovka Cola. So I press one right there. It tells you the price. Now, I don't need a bag. It does actually default by giving you a shopping bag, assuming that you're going to need it to carry your things home, so you can get rid of the bag. And then that's it. And then from here, you get the QR code to actually pay for your item. And then, somewhere up here on the board is my order. 9212 is going to be my order. So I've got 7 minutes to wait. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to the cafe and I'm actually going to go and see what else I want with the help of my trusty cameraman today. Now, of course, I'm going to have some pizza. Oh, which one do I want? I think I'm going to go the pepperoni slice right there. And only 89 rubles. So what I can actually do is I can take my pizza now and pay for this. I can also pay for my items. I've just got to wait for everything to be ready. So in the few minutes that I've got to wait, I'm going to have my slice of pizza and I can actually track my order on another screen over here. If I really wanted to, I could go over to the monitor that's got the camera in the back as well. But I think I'm okay. I'm going to have my slice of pizza, grab my drink and then head on out. Now I do get asked a lot about doing some taste testing now. I'm not sure how detailed I could be about a slice of pizza. The one thing I will say though is this is new for Pyaterochka, and I haven't seen this in any store until now. And actually, based on the time that I've been in this shop, I think it's probably one of the best selling items that I've seen everybody grab and sit here in the cafe and eat. However, it's really very nice. It's actually a kind of a thick crust pizza. And for a snack, very delicious. Now, the one thing that's going to take time, of course, being that this is the only shop in Russia. If you're watching this from another city, or if you're maybe not exactly in the area where this shop is, you can't get pizza just yet. You're going to have to wait a little bit longer. But I think it'll be worth the wait. So the easiest thing to do to come and pick up the item, once it's ready, of course, you can see on the screen right here. I've got my piece of paper. I give this to the gentleman. And what I think happens is he goes back into that secret room and grabs my drink. Thank you so much. So I've got my product to purchase. I've got my QR code. And I just need to go around here and pay for it. Simple as that. Now I think all I've got to do is scan the code and I'm good. As I head out of the Pyaterochka store, or should I say, store of the future, I'm wondering what everybody thinks of this idea and this concept and how they've flipped retail on its head by having a smaller shop and having a bigger warehouse. So in essence, they don't need to refill the shop as often because it's all on shelves in the back. And you've got that online or digital screen shopping concept. So all the things that weren't in the shop like things like cool drinks, water, cat food, cleaning items, personal care items. You order from the screens, and then 7 minutes later, it's ready for you in a shopping bag for you just to scan that QR code to pay and leave. Do you think it is a way forward in retail, or do you like to walk up and down every aisle looking for everything? You want to touch things, or are you okay with that touchscreen way of doing business? Now, personally, having come from a retail background all my life, I like bricks and mortar physical shops. But this phygical way to do it is new, it's interesting, and I think it'll work here in Russia. It's going to take a little time to get everybody's mindset changed a little bit, knowing that not everything is right there for you to grab and put in your basket. However, over time, I think we'll come around to these new methods of shopping. We've had to do it for all of the years that we've been shopping until now, so I think it's a pretty cool idea. And the pizza, that was probably for me the highlight of the shop. Something brand new for Pyaterochka. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you've liked this video. And I'm back in Russia. It's not as sunny as it was an hour ago. And I hope you found this interesting. And I've got lots of new content to come. Thumbs up if you liked it. Post a comment, let me know what you think. Check out the playlist of other videos of other supermarkets that I've been to here in Russia. And then if you want to follow my Telegram, it's right here. You can click that and check out what I'm doing every day of the week when I'm not making videos. And if you want to see an old video, maybe a traditional Pyaterochka, you can check it out right here. And keep traveling with Russell. Okay, everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.